Hey guys, the WalterFootball.com After Dark show for April 6th, 2025. Congrats to Houston for beating Duke. We were just watching that. So we're waiting for that to finish. I assume all you guys were watching that as well. And we have a 7-1 future on Houston. And so that was exciting. So we're going to get into some more futures today. Actually, Super Bowl exactas. I'll explain that more of what that is later if you guys don't know. But yeah, before we get started, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch store. It is our famous money laundering t-shirt, which you can get here, as you can see on the screen. You can change the colors and everything. 25% off. That's the best deal you're going to get until Black Friday. But I mean, I think this is a great deal. It's $12, $13 for high quality t-shirts, $10 for mugs. So yeah, if you guys want to help support the show, it's a great way to do it. You can also go to Amazon, buy my books. My most recent one is Jerks of College Years, where I made fun of people I saw at Penn State for 6 years. It was a blast to write, and I think you guys would have a lot of fun reading it. Also, please consider super chats, super stickers. That's the best way to support the show. I say this so much, like you guys really help us out. These YouTube ads pay nothing. It is Q2 now, so it's going to get a little bit better, but really, like, now it's going to be like, what, 90 cents instead of 60 cents, like whenever we don't get a super chat. It really helps us out. So I can't say enough. And thank you so much for everyone for contributing. I mean, like John Sanders, Slew, Karmic, Degeneron, Can't Make an Eagle, the Boss, Armac. You guys have been so great with your contributions. I can't say enough. All right, we're joined by Tom, Quacky T. Tom, how's it going?
Walter, here we are again. Hello to you and hello to everyone out there in the Walter football family. We're here for another our usual Saturday night of nonsense. Someone was complaining on the last video. What did the comment said? The reason you clicked on this video starts at 1 hour and 5 minutes. Maybe we should make like the timestamps so people, do we know how to do that?
That would require me knowing how to make timestamps. So
if you figure it out, I'll do it for us. That way the people can get what they want. I mean, not everyone, is maybe not, other than the regular viewers, are not aware of my antics. And then I don't want, what if I caused you to lose viewers, man? I'm not going to feel good about myself.
Well, I mean, I could see the viewer count after every episode, and like I don't think we've ever lost viewers after an episode. Like we might have like lost one or something, but it could have been a bot that was subscribed to us. So like, there's no way of knowing for sure. So I'm not sweating it out,
Well, no, but I think there's plenty of people that enjoy the nonsense too, So obviously, and we appreciate you guys coming back every night for Walt and every Saturday when I'm on, because it's just like Walter and I, we used to, for those of you who don't know, we've been friends for over 20 years now, and it's like we used to do a call like maybe like once a month. We would do like a 4 or 5 hour call once a month, and now we get like 2 hour calls here like once a week. It's
right.
it's so much cooler. So and it's fun for you guys to join in on that. We've been at it for 20 years, and good to be here. I want to get into just a few draft things too at some point. So I will. Yeah. We are going to talk about football this time with me on the show.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Mike says keep the nonsense coming.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, exactly. So asking Gators or Cougars come Monday. Well, I mean, we had the 7-1 in Houston, so I'm going to keep supporting them. I'm going to try to maybe hedge, maybe try to like get the money back. So we bet half a unit on Michigan State because they lost in the Elite Eight, and then we bet 1 unit to bet for Houston to win at 7-1. So I might bet like make sure we win like 2 units with Florida, or maybe like 1.5 units. So we still like profit 5.5 units with Houston. So I think that'll be the plan. I don't know what the line's going to be. Hopefully Florida's an underdog. I feel like Florida's gonna be favored, but if they were an underdog, it'd be easier because like then we could like middle, which would be awesome. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. It's gonna be awesome, and hopefully Houston keeps going.
I'll be rooting for you. What do we got here? First things first. Let's look up Battle of the Birds. We should bet one Battle of the Birds, like Ravens to beat Eagles in the Super Bowl. Please look it up.
Well, hold on. First of all, John says Eagles over Chiefs. Book it now. Also,
okay.
Yeah, we were waiting to go live, waiting for the game to be over, and we both thought we're like, especially when that technical foul happened off the reach in, and even like before that, we're like, oh, like Duke's got this, right? Like, yeah, we could probably start a little early. But then like Houston just kept like clawing back, and yeah, Duke choked. That was pretty wild. But as far as the Battle of the Birds, the first one, it's the top left one. It's the most likely result. It's one of 6 most likely results. Eagles to beat the Ravens is 30-1. So I wanted to bring this up actually because Andy, who's our constant guest on Thursday nights during the season, he mentioned this before the Super Bowl, and I really want to get in on this plan because I think it's great. So I asked Andy, I'm like, so who do you have in the Super Bowl? And he's like, I have both teams. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, well, before the season, I bet the Eagles to beat the Chiefs at 100-1, and I bet the Chiefs to beat the Eagles at 90-1. And so he was like sitting pretty at 90-1 and 100-1. And he explained what he does is he takes his 3 favorite teams from the NFC and 3 favorite teams from the AFC, and then he just bets all the exactas. And he hit both instances. Like, he didn't have to hedge because he had Eagles over Chiefs and Chiefs over Eagles. It requires you to find those 3 best teams. And I think you can maybe extend it to 4 teams if you think it's really close. But some of these numbers are pretty outrageous, and I'll show you them. I actually. I bet a couple of them already, but they were kind of like bonus bets, so I didn't technically bet them, but so that's why they weren't announced on the site. But I do plan on doing this, so I wanted to review some of these, see if we can find something intriguing.
All right, let's hit it. Let's see what we got here.
All right. Well, I mean, to start at the top, like these are all 30-1. Eagles to beat the Ravens, Chiefs to beat the Eagles, Bills to beat the Eagles, Ravens to beat the Eagles, Eagles to beat the Chiefs, Eagles to beat the Bills. I think you sense a theme here. It's just all the Eagles teams against the top teams in the AFC. And I think, like, to me, like, if I were to do like 3x3, I was actually thinking of doing like 4x2, where like 4 NFC teams versus 2 AFC teams. Because I don't know if I'm like a believer in the Ravens or not. I don't know. Because, I mean, they couldn't stop the pass at all last year. I thought that was going to be a big issue. They signed Chidobe Awuzie, which I like. They lost an offensive lineman this offseason. Derrick Henry's going to be 31. Lamar Jackson is always a candidate to get injured because he runs a lot. We saw him miss the end of 2 seasons. And he's never done it in the playoffs. And it's not to say that he couldn't. I think he can eventually. But I don't know. I mean, like, how likely do you think that the Ravens are being on this? I feel like in the AFC, it's like Bills and Chiefs. And then like there's a bit of a drop off, and then it's like Ravens. But what do you think?
I think the Chiefs are gonna have a down year. I mean, they'll make the playoffs, but I mean, I could see them getting like a first round exit. It's got to be, barring injury, Bills or Ravens for me. I don't know. I have this feeling that the Ravens are going to come back with resilience, especially with the way things ended with that game, against Buffalo in the divisional round. But I don't know. I feel like with the Ravens, they're kind of a team. It's like there are so many years when we thought that like they would break through, and like they haven't, and it's like maybe the year that they're not flying so much like on the radar, they will. I don't know. I mean, they obviously they have a really good team. They could have won that game, of course, against Buffalo. So I don't know. I mean, I think that would be. I like some of those numbers at 30-1.
So you're saying they're kind of like the Milwaukee Bucks were one year, where like everyone is betting on them year after year, and they never got through, and then
or like
finally, yeah, exactly. Like they finally get through,
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense. I don't know, but I do have those concerns that I mentioned, like missing offensive lineman, Lamar Jackson banged up, Derrick Henry 31. I still don't really trust the pass defense. Like Chidobe Awuzie was a nice signing, but he is an older player. He was banged up a lot last year. Johnson's Ravens seem to be on the radar based off these.
I guess that was kind of stupid of me to say, huh? I say like a million words on here. Some of them are wrong.
Well, you can't bet 1,000, right?
I mean, yeah, like that's true, but I just feel like on the radar, but like I don't know. I feel like most people would think they're like third on the radar.
I think they're third. Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely third.
I guess that's what I
of the 3 AFC teams, but I don't think there's like a big gap. If you want to like a team that may be off the radar, I think maybe Houston, because like last year they got a lot of hype, and this year they didn't, because they didn't meet expectations last year, even though they did get to the second round of the playoffs. But they lost some offensive linemen, including Laramie Tunsil, the Bong man himself, as we were discussing before the show started. But like, no, he just never like. I don't know. I do have concerns with the offensive line, but if they have a really good draft, like they could kind of like quell those issues. So I'm not opposed to like putting Houston there. Like if you were to convince me, if you were to like argue that like Houston should belong in the top 3 in the AFC, I could at least listen to it. Or same thing with the Chargers. I could like listen to that argument and like maybe you could convince me. But I do think it's Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens in that order. And I don't know if I want to like bet Ravens futures. I don't know. There might be an opportunity during the season or something. Like if they look like invincible or something, maybe you do it then. But at that point, you're not gonna get like great numbers, you know.
I've got a team under the radar for you this year. You know who it is? My mighty Green Bay Packers. Let's see. Where do they first show up?
Packers 90-1. So you have Chiefs to beat Packers 90-1, Bills to beat Packers 90-1, Ravens to beat Packers 90-1. Packers beat the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens are all three 100-1. So you're looking at those sort of odds, which is exactly what Andy got with Eagles, Chiefs, and Chiefs, Eagles 90-1 and 100-1. It's kind of interesting.
How about Bills to beat Packers?
Yeah, Bills to beat Packers 90-1.
90-1. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are the Superchargers on there? Who would you?
Let's not get off the Packers. I mean, like.
Okay.
Do you really like the Packers? I mean, I know you're a fan, but I have concerns about their offense with no Christian Watson. Like they don't have a speed threat receiver. Their defense is decent but not great. I'm not sold on Jordan Love yet. So like, can you like convince me that the Packers belong in?
Well, I mean, we really didn't. I feel like we didn't have Jordan Love. Yeah, he was playing and he played well, like certainly at a lot of points in the season. But like, I think he wasn't 100% the whole year. I mean, he got hurt right in the very first game where they were sliding all over the damn field.
Yep.
And I mean, but like they still made it work. They really. I thought their stock was you know, I was very bullish on them. Just, I mean. Granted, I have bias as a fan, but then they just like the wheels fell off at the end of the season. But I don't know. They played some good games. I mean, that first game against even though I really like the Eagles, you know, that very first the opening night of the season, it's like the Packers hung tough. They easily could have won that game, you know. And I think back then, like, I mean, people were higher on the Eagles, but like I know we were, but maybe not as much as we were. But I don't know. The Packers have a solid team. I think like they definitely need a standout number one, but I feel like almost all the receivers could be a number 2 on any team, or I could at least like try to make that argument. So I think they have depth, and I really love Tucker Kraft. Defense has improved, but you're definitely right. They are shaky at times, but I mean, you know, Jordan Love comes back there's no way he was 100% if he was out there. I feel like, you know, I think we're going to get a better version of him. You know, now that he's had the offseason to, you know, recover from any sort of residue from that injury. So I don't know. I think especially because of the way their season ended, didn't they lose like the last 3 or 4 games, including the playoff game to the Eagles? I don't know. I think people are going to be a little bit lower on them this year. I mean, I think their stock is decently, you know, it's mid to high, but I think they'll surprise some people.
So I feel like they fell off at the end of the year because they didn't have Watson. Like they lost a deep threat, and it seemed like Jordan Love took a step back at the end of the year. Like his mechanics just got really screwed up in the Minnesota game, and that was kind of like the first sign that they were declining. Like they couldn't stop the Vikings, and that offense couldn't keep up until the end, where they mounted a comeback, but they fell short. But like not having Watson as a deep threat, I just feel like every time he leaves, like for an injury, that offense really declines because they don't have anything to threaten opposing defenses deep downfield. So teams could just like play closer to the line of scrimmage. Like you know, Romeo Doubs is not going to beat anyone. You know, Jayden Reed's a good slot receiver, but like he's not like a game breaking threat. I don't know. And they haven't really done anything with receivers yet. So maybe they trade up for Teterow and McMillan in the draft. I think that would kind of like make me very much more bullish on them. But and like they could draft another receiver at 23, and We don't know how that's going to pan out. But if they do land a really talented receiver, then suddenly I will feel better about it. But like right now, I'm just like pretty concerned that they don't have an explosive offense.
They need MVS back.
That's right. He's in
He was
Seattle.
he was a great deep threat for them, man. I was kind of upset when they traded him.
I mean, he's in Seattle now, so maybe they can offer a trade or something. But no, I mean, I am looking forward to MVS. I had to crack a smile when you said Tucker Kraft because when we had Butters on to do best ball drafts last week, and he was like adamant that I should take Tucker Kraft. I do like Tucker Kraft as well. But like Cassandra was in the chat was like I don't know what Cassandra said exactly, but it was like for the love of God, please take Tucker Kraft for Butters' sake. So I thought that was pretty funny. But
I like Kraft. Yeah.
I do too. I like Tucker Kraft as well. Brandon asking, where's the college basketball final going to be? San Antonio. John says Ravens seem to be on. Oh, okay, we saw that one. John says, give me Washington versus Buffalo. Very skeptical of the Bills, despite being a fan for the Super Bowl. Also, how big is Teron Armstead's retirement from Miami? Yeah, so I didn't see that news until like right before coming on the show. So I didn't get to great issue with a disaster grade for that. It is pretty bad. I mean, their offensive line is pretty much in shambles. They did add one player this offseason to the line. That was James Daniels, who's injuries aside, he's a great blocker. But with Armstead gone, like their interior was very shaky, except for Daniels. And like now their tackles are concerns too. Like they had Patrick Paul, was the second round pick last year, so he might have some potential, but he didn't play well when he was when he got a chance last year. And then you have Austin Jackson at right tackle. He's always hurt. So this Miami team does look very shaky. It's hard to be very bullish on them. So they will not be one of the exacta teams that we talk about today.
Yeah, well.
Toughest division, NFC North, AFC North, or AFC West? I think it's the NFC North. I mean, because in each of the other divisions, like there's a weak team. Like the AFC North, yeah, the Browns. Like it's 2 easy wins for every team. AFC West, the Raiders aren't as weak, but they are still, I feel like, definitely below any of the teams in the NFC North. It feels like the entire NFC North can make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised.
I was just going to say that. I was like, if there was going to be a team where every team in the division, or a division where every team in the division made the playoffs, I think it would be that one.
Yeah,
I think that would have the best chance. I'm not saying it will happen, but I wonder what the odds are on that though.
For all of them to make the playoffs, you probably like parlay it. I don't know if it's available like per se, but you could just parlay all 4 teams to make the playoffs.
And I think I've seen maybe it's just like league wide though. It might be like will there be a division where all teams will make the playoffs, and it's like I don't know. For some reason I want to say like 10-1 or 15-1, but I might be making that up. I saw it once. I haven't. I mean, it's not something. Has that ever happened? Wait, didn't the AFC
North did?
Yeah, AFC North did recently, right?
I think so, yeah. Owen says NFC North all the way. Vikings should win the division. Lions will regress but still be good. Packers will have a similar season. The Bears are the NFL's wildcard team. Yeah, I think I agree with Owen here. Pretty much everything he says. Like Lions will be worse without the 2 coordinators. Packers, yeah, I think they'll be okay. I think the Packers could potentially be the worst team, even though I think they're really good. And well, maybe not really good, but I think they're pretty decent. And the Bears should improve. I mean, they've made so many upgrades, not just to the players, like the offensive line so much better, but the coaching staff too. So Caleb Williams should be better with Ben Johnson. But yeah, I think Minnesota is my favorite to win that division.
Hey, I got a slightly off topic, but I want to get this out there to the people before I forget. The schedule's not released yet, right? We don't know who's playing who week 1.
No, it's like May 10th or so. Like that's usually when they release it.
Let me tell you what, this isn't going to be a Y2K pick yet.
Okay.
I'll announce it, but I might have a Y2K pick, a Quacky Y2K pick for week 1. And this is what it's going to be. I don't care who they play. If Daniel Jones wins the quarter, like if he's the starting quarterback for the Colts, take the freaking Colts, man. I don't care who they're playing. I'm telling you right now, Walter, they're going on our super contest card. They're going on the super contest card. It's I don't care what the line is. I don't care who they're playing. I love it.
Why?
Just because I just know.
Just because.
Well, okay. Well, the last year's Y2K pick, the Eagles, that came through, didn't it?
I'm not doubting your Y2K picks. I just want to hear a reason why.
No, because everyone's going to be like, oh, like, I feel like most people, despite Richardson's lack of leadership and he hasn't really materialized at this point. I feel like the public probably thinks his ceiling is higher than Daniel Jones. I mean, so like I just think if Daniel Jones starts, take the Colts, man. I don't care who it is. Even if they're in Jacksonville, I don't care.
Well, they did cover in week 1 last year with Richardson. So yeah, I agree. Like I do think that his ceiling is definitely higher. But his floor is much lower too than Daniel Jones. But... And I talked about Daniel Jones because I actually drafted him in the round 20 of the best ball draft we did on Thursday. I was just so surprised he lasted. That was like our 4th quarterback. I was so surprised that he lasted that long. Like, there's a decent chance he becomes a starter. And he had some good fantasy games last year. Like, he had 25 fantasy points in one game. I think it was against Washington, if I remember correctly. But I mean, he is capable of that because he runs a lot and he scores rushing touchdowns. That's what he did a lot in 2022. And he never had a great supporting cast with the Giants. Like he never had a good offensive line. It's always Andrew Thomas and like 4 other bums. He never had a number 1 receiver, a true one, until Malik Neighbors, and that was only for half the season last year, with Neighbors being a rookie. He had Saquon Barkley missing for all of 2020 and basically 2021 because he was coming off the 20 ACL. And then last year he didn't have Saquon Barkley. So he only had Barkley for 2 years. And so he just never had a great supporting cast. And now he will in Indianapolis. He's going to have Jonathan Taylor, a really good offensive line. He's going to have 2 decent receivers, Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, and maybe they draft a tight end. Yeah, I just think that overall that you can lean on Jonathan Taylor, and like that's just like really good for Jones overall, And I think that he should improve. I'm not saying that like he's definitely going to be good, but I think that we could see the best version of Daniel Jones. So I think you can be right.
I'm telling you now, that seals it for me, Walter. We're taking the Colts, man.
All right.
It's not an official Y2K pick for everyone at home, but get ready. It might be. If Daniel Jones starts. Oh, and especially if the public likes the other team. Now we'll be cooking.
Yeah, you say that like we're gonna take it no matter what. What if they they exhume the 1972 Dolphins and like bring them like some weird like time portal? It's like Roger Goodell hears you and it's like, oh, okay, we'll see what happens here. And he like gets the 72 Dolphins back on the field and like they have to play against the Colts.
No, nothing. There's going to be no shenanigans in this one.
No shenanigans.
I really. That's going to be on the radar. I always do this every year, don't I? Like we pick a couple games like in this, in the off season, or like usually it's not until the summer, maybe like June or July, where we see these angles early on because we've always have a couple of them,
But I don't think we ever did it before the schedule comes out. Like we don't even know who they're playing. They could be playing like
no, you're right.
They could be playing like the Browns and be 9-point favorites. Like, are you going to be excited to take them then?
Yeah, absolutely.
You will? Okay.
Oh yeah.
What if they're playing the Browns as 9-point favorites, and then on Thursday, the upcoming Thursday, they have to play the Texans on Thursday Night Football? You have like a Bengals situation from last year.
I understand what you're saying. They're probably going to play the Titans or something. It's going to be a divisional game. I guarantee it.
You're probably right, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm looking forward to the schedule release. That's like one of my favorite days. Even though like it like I don't care about weeks 2 through 18. Like I just don't. I just want to see what week 1 looks like, and I want to guess the spreads. That's my favorite part.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean. Well, that's why I'm not making a Y2K selection, but I'm just telling you, I'm sniffing this one out now. I like the Colts, man.
Why 1.5K?
But if the numbers look right too, but I'm just saying I'm pointing out a potential angle for us here.
Yeah, no, I like it, and maybe we should do more of this because I feel like whenever we do this, like it almost always hits. Like I can't remember, like I can't even remember losing one like this. Like when we point something out during the summer, we like this, and then usually wins. Like I said, I can't remember it losing. I don't know. Maybe it did once or twice, but off the top of my head, I can't remember it.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
We should try to simulate the whole season. Just make our picks that way.
Man, it's funny because the longer I do this, I feel like the good picks that I have, like I don't even sometimes, like I really just operate on feel mostly, and like line movement, like the baseball and hockey picks. We were talking about this in the green room earlier. I like maybe like once a week or like every week and a half, I'll give Walter a baseball or a hockey pick, and for the most part they're pretty solid, So it's like my point is, like, I can just kind of see, like, from the line movement, and like of course like other things have to go in, like maybe one team's coming in on off a losing streak and the other team's on a winning streak. Like I'm going to like the underdog, especially if they're like plus 120 and the line's moving the wrong way. Like, but I don't really like watch the games much. But like they're all underdogs, and most of the time, would you say, like they're right,
Yeah.
So like that's going to have to be part of the factor, like that's going to factor into the equation as well. But I'm just saying this has potential for a Y2K pick.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we get good circumstances, like not a look ahead to Thursday or something.
Right.
We're gonna have to see the schedule. Brandon says, WTF, in an empty parking lot, a random car drove up behind me and blocked me and stopped. Literally had to rack around and wonder WTF this person was doing. Just stopped and did nothing for 45 seconds, then backed up and peeled out. It's pretty crazy.
It's weird. Glad you're okay. Sounds like you're okay.
Hope you're okay, because he's still posting. He drove up at an angle at the front corner of the car right behind my back bumper. That's crazy.
They're trying to flex or something, huh?
Well,
glad you're okay, Brandon. That's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know. Like, you just never know. Some crazy people out there, but hope everything's okay.
Yeah, hope you're okay.
Johnson's lines are my favorite under, with them losing both of their coordinators. Hello, 2023 Eagles. I agree. I like the under. I don't know if the number is, so like maybe they'll post a low total. I do know that I know ESPN Bet posted their over unders, and I think
it would be 12 maybe.
I think Bet Rivers did too, but Bet Rivers did that like very annoying thing where you have to like click on each one to open it. So I just got so frustrated that I just didn't want to look. Like I'm just waiting for DraftKings to do it so you can see it on one screen. But
I'm gonna guess 12.
I'm gonna look right now to see what it is. You think 12? I would have guessed 11.5 on the lines, but we'll see. I'm actually, team markets. Okay. Detroit is. Wow, we're both way over 10.5 is the total win.
Wow, really?
10.5 for the Lions. Yeah. So I guess they were factoring that in, huh? I guess I don't know. They didn't want people to bet the they don't want people to bet the under, just based on that.
Yeah, it certainly would suggest that, huh? I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those, like, the Lions are probably still going to be pretty good. Like, I feel like that's one that you're going to end up sweating out. Like, they're going to win 10 games if you take the under. So, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. If you're into sweating it out at the end of the season, then maybe it's for you.
Yeah. You can always use a good sweat, right? But I don't.
Do we know? It's fun sometimes, I guess, if you win, of course. But
so bookmaker Bet Rivers doesn't have the Vikings for some reason. They don't have anything posted for the Vikings. So I looked up. On ESPN Bet it's also 10.5. The vig is minus 115 on the under, so that's shaded toward the under on Lions. For the Vikings, and I'm guessing they don't have it on Bet Rivers because of Aaron Rodgers maybe signing there. But on ESPN Bet, the Vikings are over 8.5. But the vig is minus 130, but still, like, 9+ wins for this monster team. Like, I feel like that's gonna be a lock for me. I think I might want to bet that now because I feel like it's gonna get bet up. Unfortunately, it's just ESPN Bet. I wish they had more lines, but I think the only ones that have them are ESPN Bet and Bet Rivers. I think I haven't looked everywhere, but
Okay.
I didn't see him like on DraftKings or anything or FanDuel, So
I'll probably stay away from that one, but I mean I am inclined to like the under there on that Lions total, but I'll probably stay away because I think if it hits, it'll be 10.
Okay. What about the Vikings? I thought for a second you said you're going to stay away from the Vikings one.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were the Vikings again?
8.5.
8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like the over there.
Yeah, right. Should have a winning record with that roster. It's pretty insane. And there's uncertainty with McCarthy, and that's why it's so low. But and we saw what Sam Darnold did last year. Like, and McCarthy has the potential to be better than Sam Darnold. Like, he could also be worse, but like they made good upgrades to the offensive line. They still have a great supporting cast. Like, it's McCarthy's going to have to be like abysmal for them not to hit that. I feel like, So
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so with like that the great coaching staff, it's gonna be pretty difficult for him to be abysmal,
Yeah, I don't know. That seems really low. Was the over like minus 155 or something?
It's minus 130. It's not like awful. It's not awful.
I don't know. The over seems. I mean, I like the over there, but that seems a little too easy to me.
Yeah. Matthias says Chicago. Let's not do this again. What's Chicago's line? This is different, Matthias, because I wasn't even hyped on them last year. I had them going 9-8, but I didn't have them making the playoffs. And I think it's different now because they actually have what should be a good coaching staff. They made some great upgrades to the offensive line. Their win total is also 8.5, but the VIG, instead of being minus 130 like it is to the Vikings, is plus 110. It's plus 120. The under 8.5 is minus 140. So looks like might be some sharp money on the Bears under. But then again, I don't know like what sharps are betting on ESPN Bet. So. Because they limit you so quickly that you just can't really do that on there. So it's kind of a joke. Stupid ESPN. Like you no surprise, right? That ESPN is a joke. But anyway, I don't think that like the Bears underachieving is necessarily going to happen again because it's just different circumstances.
I don't know. What was their number again?
8.5 plus 120.
Oh, I don't know, man. That seems high to me.
8.5, really?
Yeah, I like the under there.
Well, the VIG's minus 140, like I said. So
yeah, I mean, they could go like I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. T-Ropey says 4 teams from the same division have never made the playoffs.
Never have.
I feel like I thought it did. Maybe it was close, and it didn't happen because it was close. But I thought at least they had a chance. I don't know. I guess I'm wrong. Colts have a really weak schedule. Yeah, I mean
music to my ears.
Teams, yeah. Petrie and Stingley both got picks off Daniel Jones in preseason last year. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. DraftKings over-unders are posted. Are they really? I didn't see them. Let's see. Wins. There you go. The wins right there. Why don't they not alphabetize this? Why is Jets first and then Buccaneers? What is
the
this?
Buccaneers?
Yeah,
I never understood. I mean, they pick and choose because you notice I'm sure some teams aren't always up there. They'll take them off the board and bring them back on, of course. But it's there seems like there's no rhyme or reason. There's the Vikings and the Eagles and the Bills. It's not like by conference or anything.
What is why the Redskins are last and the Ravens then the line what is happening here?
Yeah, what are the Panthers?
It's not that difficult to alphabetize this, Panthers are over 6.5 minus 125.
I take the over 6.5 and I don't look back.
Man, I don't know.
I think that's an easy one, man.
I feel like you shouldn't be fooled by what they did late in the year.
No, you're the one being fooled, man.
Fooled by what?
I don't know. Something. I think the Panthers are going to be all right. I think. I don't know. I think Bryce Young might. I think he's going to come back and be even better. He definitely. I mean, you can't really deny he definitely turned things around a good bit for himself after the start to his career. You know what I mean?
Is he going to be able to see over the offensive line?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, look at like Jared Goff. Remember how horrible he was like his first year. And it's like they sat bright. I don't know. I think they could, especially in that division. I think over 6.5. That's a lock, man. That's the closest thing to a lock there is.
Yeah, that defense just seems so atrocious. I don't know.
All right.
And like Jared Goff is Sean McVay coaching. I mean, Dave Canales did a great job.
I know it's not necessarily a direct comparison by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know. 6.5. I think that's very doable.
Well, it is a bad division, so you could be right, but I'm not excited about it. I don't necessarily bet the under either. Although Evan nailed the Panthers under last year. He was all over that. So kind of curious to hear what he has to say about it. But
I am too then.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this either way. Stanley asking, did you see the Houston Cougars pull the biggest upset in tournament history? I feel like that was the 2-16s over the ones. I get maybe Stanley's joking here, but
I think maybe you mean comeback or something on some level.
I'm sure there are even bigger comebacks. I don't know. Although
there are, yeah.
Although given that I the Houston future, I felt like we were definitely going to lose. So maybe Stanley's talking about it from that perspective. But I mean, the biggest upsets in tournament history were the Purdue and Virginia losing. As to the 16 seeds. So
there was in 2016. I remember because there's a whole video on it on YouTube. Northern Iowa blew a game in the tournament to Texas A&M. Alex Caruso was on Texas A&M, and I think Northern Iowa was up 12 with a minute to go.
Oh wow!
It was something. It was something, and how they have the the scale. It's it looks like a stock ticker. It's the chances, the odds of that team winning.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually 99.9% to win with under a minute to go, and they lost the game in overtime. And it was weird because at one point they finally did, everything went wrong, throwing the ball out of bounds, steal, and they were hitting every shot. But then Northern Iowa did get a breakaway dunk, so it wasn't like they're completely shut out. And after the dunk, it's okay, there it is, and they still, that's horrible.
I feel I feel like I've been on the side of 99.9% to cover, and I've lost some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of that 2007 NBA Finals when you had the Spurs -3 and they're up 4 with a second to go.
Yep.
And the Cavs shot a 3 and made it.
Yep.
Still lost the game by 1.
Dude, that happened. That happened earlier this year. Kyrie Irving hit a BS 3-pointer at the buzzer.
I remember that. I remember your post about that.
Yeah. It's happened many times. I feel like, but
yeah. Well, I think what Stanley's probably saying is we almost started the show over it because we were this looks like it's over. So that's I wonder what the greatest point deficit, because I would say that has to be the greatest comeback, that Texas A&M over Northern Iowa, just statistically speaking, but it certainly wasn't the greatest point deficit. I think they were down by 12.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the greatest was a team down by 25 or 30 or something and then came back and won the game in the tournament. I wonder.
I don't know. I mean, luckily Google and AI exist.
So, put that in your lunch bucket and see what it says.
I just typed it in. It says the greatest comeback in NCAA tournament history occurred in the 2012 first 4 game between BYU and Iona. BYU erased a 25-point deficit to win 78-72.
Oh wow! Okay, 25 points.
I would have guessed higher, 30 or 32.
Yeah, I would have as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. At first 4 doesn't count either. I feel like. That's
right. Yeah. It's not it's not the same tournament feel by any stretch.
No, poor Iona. They're not a team that frequently gets into the tournament. Right? It's put Iona in the NAAC, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, I think it is. It's hey, Iona, you get to go to the tournament, but wait, you have to play BYU in the first.
Yeah, really. The late great Jim Valvano coached at Iona.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to these exactas.
Okay.
You before we got off tangent, you said Chargers that
Superchargers.
The Superchargers. So Chargers beat the Eagles 110-1. Eagles beat the Chargers 110-1. And then you have the Lions beat the Chargers 140-1. Chargers beat the Lions 150-1. So yeah, you're getting great numbers here. Chargers beat the Redskins 250-1. Redskins beat the Chargers 251. So yeah, I mean, good opportunities here if you like the Chargers. I mean, do you like the Chargers that much? I don't know. I mean,
No, I love the Superchargers always. No, I don't know. I mean, who could they? Where was against the Eagles? What was it?
the Chargers versus the Eagles was 110-1. Chargers beat the Eagles 110-1. Eagles beat the Chargers 110-1. So
I don't know. I wouldn't put more than $5 on it, but it would be fun to. It would be fun to dream, wouldn't it?
yeah, I mean, look, these are not going to be like huge bets. We're not betting like 5 units on any of these, But
yeah, we're here to give advice. We're here to offer.
no, I will be betting these, and I will have like $100 bets or something, like 1 unit bets on some of these. But they won't be like 5 units. It won't be like, I don't even know if they'll allow you to bet 5 units. I mean, maybe on DraftKings they will, but I feel like some other books would limit you in that regard. But not going to bet like 500 to win. What is it? 55,000 or something, like 5,500. No, it's 55,000. So yeah, it seems like just way too much for that to happen.
Just put like 17 units on the Broncos to beat the Eagles.
I actually want to see like Broncos beat the Eagles. Like what would they 17 units, you said?
Yeah.
1,700 pays out $205,000.
Dude. Oh, imagine if they did though. Yeah, that would. Yeah, don't do this. Delete that off. Yeah, we don't want any of that. Oh, imagine that happened.
Yeah, that's like, were you gonna bet 1,700?
Yeah, we'll have to share that clip. Be like, oh, Quacky knows ball or some other one of those lines.
Yeah, no, I mean we could clip it, I guess, but that would require me knowing how to clip it.
Yeah, I don't want to get that's too much effort. It's not worth it.
All right, so where are we going with the top 3 teams in each conference? I think AFC is easier. Like you have Chiefs, Bills, and maybe the Ravens. Like I said, I don't know if I want to put the Ravens in there. I just don't trust them, but they could do it. Maybe like bet the Ravens exactas for a lower amount. Like I might be convinced to do that. But as far as I think the NFC is much more interesting. So, who would your top 3 teams be in the NFC, or maybe even extend it to 4? Like trying to use like Andy's strategy here.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you one. I'll answer your question in 2 parts. I want to see the Bills to beat the Washington Commanders and vice versa, because I don't know. I think I really like those. So in the AFC, I'd say Bills, Ravens, and I guess Chiefs. Though I do think that they're going to have a down year. It's but I guess I have to put them in the 3 as well. Obviously, I mean they've been to 3 straight Super Bowls. Eagles, obviously. I mean, I think the 49ers could knock on the door of the top 3, at least from a record standpoint, because they have what seems to be a really easy schedule this year. But then, I mean, I think the Lions will be good again. I really like Washington, though. So let's see, 70. What do we got? 75 and
Bills to beat the Redskins is 70-1. Redskins to beat the Bills is 75-1. Same thing with the Chiefs. So Chiefs to beat the Redskins 70-1. Redskins beat the Chiefs 75, and then same thing with the Ravens.
Bills to beat 49ers is 80-1.
Yeah, so it's interesting you put the Niners in the top 3. I do love their schedule. I hate their offseason, though. They just lost so much talent, and you don't know if McCaffrey's going to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious to see what their over-under is. Luckily, we have it here. Stupid ESPN bet logged me out. ESPN bet is the worst with that. They log you out after like 2 seconds.
I've never used it. I've never tried it.
It's hard. It's a horrible app. And they limit you like very quickly. Like it's like a running joke, like how quickly they limit you. The Of course, this is not alphabetized either. The 49ers, their win total is 10.5. It seems high until like you remember how easy the schedule is. So
yeah, what is that, like -125 the over?
the over is it's plus 115. Over 10.5 plus 115.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I really like that. Their schedule is easy, man. 10.5. I think they could easily win 11 games.
It really is easy, but like, what if, I don't know? What if McCaffrey's not healthy? What if like their roster's so diminished? I don't know. I think I would lean over it too, but
yeah, but at plus 115, I'm surprised to hear that. I might actually take that.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe maybe he's not, but still, that of course, there's going to be surprise team. There's going to be teams on that schedule that were like, oh, that'll be an easy win, and it won't be. They'll end up being good or something. But on paper, like that's the closest thing to cakewalk I've seen in some time. At least that's at this point in the offseason, from what we know about the teams. So 10.5, I like the over there a lot on the 49ers.
Yeah, I think I do too. I'm leaning that way. I don't know. Maybe if they have a great draft or something, but it's just like I wish they would have done better this offseason, because like heading into free agency, I'm like, this team could really make a move here because of their soft schedule, and they did have some cap space, but they didn't do anything with it, and they just let players leave. And so I just didn't really understand what they're doing this offseason. I guess they're like saving money to re-sign Brock Purdy and stuff, but man, I don't know. Evans, who is a 49er fan, like I think he wants them to move on from Brock Purdy just because like he's gonna be paid a lot of money, and I don't know if he's worth it. I mean, he's been good for them, but is he gonna be like that good to be paid so much? I don't know. It's a tough spot for them, I think.
No, I definitely agree, but I still like the 10.5 regardless.
Johnson's Bengals scare me more than any team in the AFC. Got smoked by them twice, and Hamlin became a zombie playing them. Well, in fairness, like, I mean the Hamlin stuff, but like the second matchup there, I mean that Buffalo team just felt like they were like giving up just because of what happened to Hamlin. Because like that wasn't the only game they struggled. Like they barely beat the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson. Like that team was just reeling at the end of the season. And this Bengals team has no defense at all. Like their defense is atrocious. Like people seem to love them to get to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. I posted right after the Super Bowl was over. I'm like, and I posted the odds. I'm like, which team do you think would you bet to win the Super Bowl? And like most of the responses I got on Twitter were from or saying the like Bengals at like 20-1. I'm like, that's the one team I wouldn't bet because their defense is so bad. Like Joe Burrow is great and everything like that, but they just can't stop anyone, and you have to stop someone at some point. So I think they're just going to have like another 9-8-ish season and just maybe make the playoffs or maybe not.
Oh wow, you feel very strongly about that.
I do. I think they're very overrated. I think they're probably the most overrated team in the NFL. I think just based on how people are bullish on them to win the Super Bowl at 20-1. I would have made that number higher personally, but I get it though because they're just catering to what people are going to bet. But I think it's a trap. I think it's just a major trap.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate 20-1. I mean, especially the way they ended the season. There's a lot of games in the beginning of the season that could have gone their way. So if one of them would have, then they would have been in the playoffs, and who knows? Yeah, they definitely have issues on defense, but I don't think 20-1 is the worst bet.
I think it's pretty bad.
Oh wow!
I have not placed a single bet on them. Like, and I get like a lot of bonus bets and stuff, like or profit boosts, just for like deposits or whatever. I have not placed a single like free bet on them at all. Like I'm pretty confident that they're not going to do anything this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see then.
Like I'd rather go with the Chargers or Texans personally. I think there's just more substance to those teams. Yeah, I'd rather go the Broncos than the Bengals.
Oh, nice. Now I got you on the Broncos bandwagon. I see.
I mean, I look at more of the Bengals.
I helped.
That doesn't mean on the bandwagon. No, I like the moves they made this offseason. Denver, like they signed Talanoa Hufanga, great safety, Drake Greenlaw, talented linebacker, and and they signed Evan Ingram to help the offense. So there's only like 3 moves, but I thought like 3 very good moves to strengthen the team. So like last year they were an overrated team, but like this year I think like they could actually have the same record this year and just be a lot better. Because like last year they lucked into so many wins because they had such an easy schedule. But this year I assume it's gonna be tougher because it was so easy last year.
Do you know if the Colts and the Broncos play each other this year? Imagine week 1, it's Daniel Jones against the Broncos, and it'll be another battle of the horses. And this time, Indianapolis redeems themselves. What a fairy tale ending that would be for me, huh? Finally, redemption.
So the Colts and Broncos, according to AI, says the Colts and Broncos are scheduled to play each other in a regular season game in Berlin, Germany in 2025. So we have the battle of the horses.
It's 2.0 here. Since no way, it's you don't know. Okay, there's no way that would happen week 1 if it's in another country. But
so
can you imagine if that was we had the Y2K pick was the Colts ever? Because I already came on. I went on the line here, or I went online as actually I did both. Emmett was right there. I went online and said,
So
yeah, go.
The German word for horses is Pferde. So battle of the Pferde in German.
Because I already said we really like the Colts week 1 no matter what. That wouldn't be in week 1 then.
Right.
So no. if it's in another country, I mean, unless they would kick the season off with a game like that, like they did in Brazil, but they're not kicking the season off with freaking Battle of the Horses, man. Not in this era.
No, you can't.
Maybe Luck versus Peyton Manning or something, but
Yeah, things haven't been the same around here since Battle of the Horses.
Yeah, they have.
Battle of the Faraday.
Oh man,
that would be a fun one. I think you need a redemption. I think
I really do. I really do.
Sam says 49ers lost too many talented players even with the soft schedule. They're going to struggle because Arizona and the Rams got better. The Rams are a force. Arizona, they did get better. I'm not like a big believer in them, but they did improve. Sue says 49ers try too many field goals and Moody can't make enough of them. Just ask Evan. Yeah, they're scouting kickers very, very heavily ahead of the 2025 draft. Like they're going to draft the kicker at some point. Hopefully it's not like too early, but I think probably like round 4, 5, 6. Though they'll probably draft the kicker. It says who you got winning the championship on Monday between Florida and Houston. I'm sticking with Houston. I picked them to start the tournament. I have them at 7-1, like I said like 5 times already on the show, but. I hope they win. I will hedge a little bit with Florida. I don't know what the odds are, but maybe they're posted actually. But so Florida's -1.5. Man, I was really hoping that Houston would be favored, so I can like take the +1.5 and try to hedge it that way, like try to win both sides. Maybe I could take an alternate line or something and try to win both. But that's what I did in the Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl, and that kind of backfired. But it's still a positive result. So.
I didn't even do I did a bracket for my buddy who doesn't watch college basketball, but I don't watch college basketball either. But I didn't even make one for myself. But in the bracket,
the blind there.
Yeah, exactly. But however, I did pick. I mean, not like it was a saucy selection. I mean, they were a 1 seed, but I did pick Florida to win it all in my bracket.
Nice.
So that I did make. So yeah, I'll stick with. I mean. It doesn't matter. I'll root for Houston though because I want Walt to win. But
thank you.
Yeah. I mean, the bracket, like, there's no way. It doesn't affect me. It's for my buddy.
Right. Yeah.
I think he gets he probably gets like a $5 gift card to Starbucks or something. It's like, no, I want Houston to win. But I did pick Florida for whatever it's worth there, Stanley.
Yeah, I picked Houston in both my brackets. Unfortunately, Houston against Michigan State. Michigan State did not get there. They lost in the Elite Eight, but if I feel like I didn't. There aren't too many people who picked Houston, so I think I'd have a chance to win them. Because especially in one bracket, I picked all the Elite Eights right, and I got 3 out of the 4 Final Fours right. So I'd have a chance at least. Anyway, Let's move on here. So my teams that I would consider, and the Redskins are one of them. And the Eagles would be as well. I think that the Eagles are going to have some, regression. They might, especially if like the tush push is banned or something, which like they're going to vote on in May. But they did lose their offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore is now the coaching elsewhere, and like they did lose some like depth on defense. Like I still feel like the defense is still going to be really good, but they lost some like key players who played there last year. They made some lower end signings, but I don't know if those guys will replace those players. They did draft well, so there's that. But I think they might take a bit of a step backward. Like I don't think the Eagles in 2025 are going to be better than the Eagles in 2024. But they're still talented enough to win the Super Bowl. I just like I don't know if they're going to repeat. And so I for my three and this is why I like point to 4 for the NFC, because like if you include the Eagles, they're 4. Not saying that they're definitely behind these other 3, but I think that I think like it's I was definitely want to include them because they're so talented. But anyway, like my other 3 are the Redskins, so I agree with you on that count. Let's talk about the Vikings. We mentioned them earlier. I love this roster. It's so loaded with talent. I think if you take away quarterback from every roster in the NFL, I think that you can make the case that the Vikings have a top 3 roster in the league, like maybe in the best roster. Their offense is so loaded. Like they obviously have the 2 great receivers in T.J. Hawkinson. Aaron Jones is a solid running back. I know you know him pretty well, at least as a player, not personally, but their offensive line. Yeah, their offensive line is going to get Christian Darrisaw back, and they signed Ryan Kelly and Will Fries, like 2 really good interior linemen. I love Kevin O'Connell, great coach. I love Brian Flores on the other side of the ball. They made some upgrades on defense this offseason. I think this team is just stacked, and I think that you can make the case that they are potentially the best team in the NFC. And what's wild is that they're 40-1 to win the Super Bowl. I bet 2 units on them to win the Super Bowl. So I'm really hoping I'm right about that. Here we have the numbers here. So Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens to beat the Vikings are 110-1. Vikings to beat those other 3 teams are 130-1. I think those are just outstanding numbers for a team. I think it's just so good. They were 14-3 last year, even though Christian Darrisaw missed half the season, and before they added their other 2 offensive linemen. I absolutely love those numbers. I know you're a Packer fan, so like, what do you think about this as like a Packer fan looking at the other team in the division?
Look, I mean, I definitely think there's value there. I'm not going to take any of them, and just because, I mean, yeah, like I know, hopes are very high for McCarthy, but I mean, we haven't even seen him at all. So like that's where I'm hesitant there. But I mean, they definitely have a lot of talent. I mean, I think there's value in any of those, but I wouldn't take it myself. But if you throw $5 on it, I mean, I'm just hesitant because we don't know anything really about McCarthy yet.
Okay, I'm putting 100 on each of them, the $5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I've got one. Now I got one for you. How about the Bills and the Rams?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the Rams because that's my 3rd team in the NFC.
Okay. Yeah, give me the Bills and the Rams.
Well, let's type in the Rams. Let's see what we get. So the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens to beat the Rams are 90-1. Same as the Packers. Rams to beat the Chiefs, Bills, or Ravens are 100-1. So yeah, same odds as the Packers. I mean, you brought them up, so tell me why you like them, and then I'll tell you why I like them.
I don't know. They really turned it on the end of last year. I think they're a team they're really on the come up now. I don't know. I feel like they're maybe flying under the radar a little bit.
I mean, based on the odds, I think they are too. When we had Andy on for his final episode for 2024, we're going over Super Bowl futures because I mean he'll be back next season, but like he was talking about how he was talking about the strategy, and he said like the Rams were definitely in his top 3 to represent the NFC. And I was at the time I was like, really? Because like there were remember there were rumors that Stafford would be traded. And like at the time, Alaric Jackson was a free agent. I'm like man, the Rams could lose their quarterback and left tackle. Like they could be awful. But they kept Stafford. They re-signed him. They re-signed Alaric Jackson. And then they signed Devontae Adams to make that offense even better. I was talking about like how the Vikings roster is so great. I think the Rams roster is great too. Their offensive line is really good. They now have two awesome receivers, and plus Tyler Higbee's back from the injury. We saw him late in the playoffs last year. He's going to be available for the whole season. Like the Vikings, the Rams have a great coach, Sean McVay, and they have an established quarterback. That's like the difference with the Vikings. Like we know what Matthew Stafford is. He is 37. That is a slight concern. But we've seen quarterbacks win Super Bowls in the late 30s and 40s with Tom Brady. So like and people were bullish on the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. And he was 41. So like Stafford being 37 just seems like so much better. And then you look at the defense. The defense was great at the end of last year in terms of stopping the pass. Like they weren't as good as against the run, but the pass defense was great because they had such a good pass rush. Jared Verse, and you also had Brandon Fisk on the defensive line. You need some other guys too. But both those guys are rookies last year, and now they're going to have experience. So they're going to be better. And so I just think that overall this team just looks really good to me. I think that I think they're definitely in the mix to get to the Super Bowl, and they were the team that came closest to beating the Eagles in the playoffs last year, and that was in the snow. Like there was an LA team, a dome LA team playing in the snow, and they almost won. They were like 20, 25 yards away from winning that game. So like, what if they have a better overall regular season and they get to host games in the playoffs? That's just going to put them in like such a better position. So I really like this team, like I said. So yeah, the Rams are definitely on the short list for these exactas.
I'm with it.
Glad to hear that. Any other teams? I know you have some draft props you want to get to, but anything else you want to look at?
I mean, not in particular. I mean, I think we covered a good bit here.
Okay, I was kind of curious to see like what the highest odds are. At the very bottom, Browns to beat the Saints. What is this, 1 million?
No, that's 10,000. Is that 10,001? Is that 100,001 or 10,001? That's 10,001.
I saw plus. It's just plus 1 million. I don't know. Are there? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, just 10,001. Yeah, holy cow!
Yeah, $1.
Browns to beat the Saints.
If you bet $100 to win $1 million. Let's do it. Let's bet it.
Browns to beat the Saints, dude. Let's see if there's any on there that could like even be. So far, I see nothing.
Well, yeah, like and anything viable. Like, is there anything viable down here? Like, you see the Saints, Panthers, Giants.
Yeah, like the Panthers. Maybe something with the Panthers. Maybe.
No Panthers. I don't want Panthers.
Yeah. What if like Bryce Young just lights the field on fire, man?
It's not gonna happen.
Okay. How about maybe the Jaguars?
I could be talking to the Jaguars, but they need a better opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not suggesting we take any of these, but I'm just saying like what could be like most.
Right.
Jaguars versus
Giant. We have the Giants here. Cardinals to beat the Browns.
Cardinals to beat the Browns.
Yeah. What else do we have here? If you guys are seeing this, anything in the chat?
Falcons and the Jaguars. Falcons and the Jaguars.
Where do you see that?
I mean, that's so far to me. That's one that of all the most unlikely ones, that's the first one that's caught my interest. Put 100 on it. 100
to win $400,000. Can you imagine if you hit that? That'd be insane.
Dude, imagine like Penix comes out just rolling, and then like Trevor Lawrence is like completely healthy. He's kicking, and they draft Travis Hunter, and they're like, damn, like they were the team we thought they were going to be a couple years ago.
Yeah,
coming off of that comeback win. Oh my God, give me 50 on it.
$1 wins $4,000. That's kind of crazy. 50 wins $200,000.
That'd be nice, huh?
Life changing money, right? So that I think that is the most viable, like the one I've seen down here. Maybe Falcons beat the Colts as well if you think Daniel Jones or something. So yeah, I mean these aren't that bad. Like Falcons Jaguars is not that bad. I don't see it happening. I don't think it will happen. Well, I
No,
shouldn't say I
nor
don't
do
see
I.
it. I shouldn't say I don't see it happening. I don't think it will happen. But if they replay the season like 4,000 times, does it happen once? I mean, maybe not, but like, it could. I think it could, right? I don't know.
You're like, probably not.
Probably not, but it could happen. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Wow.
Brandy says Falcons will be better. It will be much betting in 2026 when Cousins cap is off the books. Yeah, that's true. I mean that is an issue, but they will be trading Kirk Cousins at some point, I think, after the draft. So
Yeah, don't sleep on this Falcons team, man. I believe in Michael Penix Jr.
I like him too. I like him too.
Yeah, they've got some. I mean, they've got a Bijan Robinson. Even Algiers a decent second back, for sure. Like they have some good pieces, and like I mean, what did Penix play? 6 games or something like that? Was it even that many?
It might have been fewer. I'm not sure, but no. What happened with no? It's definitely fewer because they came out of the bye. They only had 6 games after the bye, and Cousins still played after the bye. So
Okay.
it was definitely fewer than that. But after the bye, I thought it was interesting that Atlanta's pass rush really improved. Like they were one of the worst pass rush teams in the NFL before the bye, but after the bye, they got after the quarterback pretty well. So I think that's something. It's like something to just think about, like where they could just be better. So like the Falcons to be like a viable team. I kind of like wonder what Falcons to beat some of these top teams are. So yeah, Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens to beat the Falcons is 250 to 1, and then the opposite's 350 to 1. I don't think that's insane. I don't think that's insane to bet. Put like $10 on it. I think you could do worse. Falcons to beat the
I think there's value. What is it? 350 to 1.
Bills to beat the Falcons are 250 to 1. So $10 was 2,500. I don't think that's insane. Like
I don't think it is either.
Yeah, I think the Falcons could definitely get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, Mark Sanchez took no hate on Mark Sanchez.
Randy says Penix started 3 games. Yeah. So
3. Okay. I'm telling you. Don't sleep on the Falcons, man. Don't sleep on the Falcons this year. I have Penix is my guy.
Yeah, and the pass rush should be even better because they added Leonard Floyd. Like that'll help. They didn't really like do too much else. But they lost their center. I think that might be an issue if their backup isn't very good. But I mean, overall, this is a good team. Like I think they can win 9-10 games, and if you have them in the playoffs and you bet like $10 on all these possibilities, you might get there if you're a believer in them. So I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I might look at it. Well, let me just look at it here. The Falcons to win the NFC, 30 to 1.
Yeah, Falcons coach is
dubious.
Well, at least he's not Arthur Smith.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but I don't know. 30 to 1. I mean, in that division, I mean, anything can happen in that division, I guess. But
yeah,
or at least historically, that's been the case. But I don't know. I definitely think they're going to exceed expectations this year. Let's put it that way. I really feel strongly that the Falcons are going to exceed expectations.
I agree. All right. So unless anyone in the chat wants to see any other possibilities, we can talk about the other topic that you wanted to touch on, which was a couple of draft props that you were looking at. Now, like Charlie's not on to give the green light or anything, but what we could do is I could like push these on Charlie because Charlie would be on in not this upcoming week, but the next week. Charlie's gonna be on twice more. He's gonna be on the week of what is this? The week of the 14th, and then the week of the 21st. He's gonna be on April 22nd, so 2 days before the draft to do the final draft props show, and he's gonna be on either the Tuesday or the Thursday of the 14th, the week of the 14th, for our final mock draft with him. So the next time he's on, I can ask him about these. So you wanted to, I know you had a couple you're looking at, so if you wanted to bring them up.
Yeah, well, the first one I'm looking at is Travis Hunter. I'll tell you what, I'm seeing Travis Hunter to be drafted by the Giants at plus 100 and the Jaguars at plus 1,000, 10 to 1 here. Geez, I think if you put a unit on each of those, you'll at worst break even. I mean, I like that 10-1 of the Jaguars. I think that's a good number.
Yeah, it depends where Shore Sanders goes. If Sanders goes in the top 3, I think there's a really good chance Hunter falls to 5 because it sounds like the Patriots want to take a tackle, or at least some lineman at number 4. If Abdul Carter somehow falls to them, I think that they'll take him. But if it's not Abdul Carter, I think it's going to be a lineman. I assume it's going to be Will Campbell. It's what just based on what Charlie was saying. So it's 4s. Hunter's not going 4. Is my point. So yeah, 3 and 5 make a lot of sense. Hold on. Is this, does it say drafted by Giants or Jaguars, or does it say drafted number 3 or number 5?
No, team to draft player.
Team to draft player.
The Browns are the favorite, -130. So you don't think?
Well, that's what Todd McShay was saying today. McShay, I saw a tweet from him where he said like the Titans canceled all their workouts with other players. Other players who go in the top, So it sounds like they're going to go to Cam Ward. But then he said, I'm hearing the Browns are going to take Travis Hunter, but I don't know what sources Todd McShay has. I will trust Charlie over anything at this point. And also Adam Schefter said it sounds like Abdul Carter is going to be taken by the Browns. So and I trust Schefter more than McShay, But we'll see, and maybe Schefter will change his tune because he already did. Like Schefter, right during the combine, said that it sounds like the Browns are going to go quarterback, but now he says it's going to be Carter. So I wonder if he's going to change his mind again.
Right. I mean, Browns are -130, Giants are +100, Patriots are +500. I don't like that one.
No.
But the Jags 10-1. Oof, man, that's awfully tempting to me. I think that's a really good number there.
Yeah, yeah, it could happen. Yeah.
But of course, I'm not going to put anything in until like week of or closer to the day.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'll definitely bet now. I bet 2 things right now. One is Will Campbell to go to the Patriots, and I would bet Will Johnson to go to the Raiders right now. I don't know what the odds are, but that's what I would bet right now. Like I've been saying, I need to get out to the Trenton Thunder baseball stadium. Yeah, yeah, just the good old Trenton Thunder baseball stadium. I haven't been there in a while, so I'm looking forward to my return. It's been like 9 months. It's been so long.
It'll be a wonderful reunion.
I know. I can't wait.
They'll be so happy with security.
I'm gonna park in my usual spot. It's gonna be awesome.
You have like some rent a cop, like, you in there making DraftKings lineup, son? He gets to call you son.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been over here for a while. What happened to those Rainmaker lineups?
Yeah. You think there's got to be someone else that does that too? You can't be the only one. Like that's in the Trenton. Have you ever seen anyone in there?
The thing is, I'm sure there are other people who've crossed state lines to enter in sports bets, but to go to this specific location seems so unique. I don't think anyone else is going to Trenton Thunder baseball stadium. It's just it's the thing closest to me. If there was a McDonald's parking lot, I would have gone there instead, Mm-hmm. But it's the closest. As soon as I cross the bridge, the first exit is Trenton. And so I go to Trenton, and it's a scary neighborhood. You drive for a block or two, it's kind of frightening, and they're weird bums walking around. So I just kind of ignore them and just keep driving. And then you turn onto a big road, and then the first right on that big road is the Trenton Thunder baseball stadium. And it's it's super safe there because they've got, well, I shouldn't say super safe, but they have cameras and stuff. So there aren't going to be any shady people go there. At least I hope not. But
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone in the Trenton Thunder baseball stadium parking lot at all. I've been the only person there. There've been some other cars there too, but I assume that they're people. I assume they're janitorial or maintenance people cleaning up the stadium at night or something. Because there's no one else there.
Right. I mean, but I feel like there's got to be somebody that's done that. Maybe we could make a documentary and it's sponsored by DraftKings. It's I've been coming here to the Trenton Thunder. You and I will stand out there all day. We'll get you a hotspot so you can still work. And we'll just stand out there all day with a camera. And we see people come in and be like, you making rainmakers?
Like, no, I'm here for the game.
Yeah. We'll be there for 12 hours and talk to like
Right.
one person.
Right.
Probably. It won't be much of a documentary. But imagine...
speaking of which, go ahead.
No, I was done.
I was going to say, DraftKings is facing a class action lawsuit for Rainmakers. I got an email, and for anyone who was in Rainmakers, you might have missed this because this was in my spam folder. And actually, Nuggets and Butters. I think it was Butters who alerted me, and then Nuggets confirmed. Butters said he looked through his spam and he saw a class action lawsuit from about DraftKings Rainmakers. And then Nuggets like, yeah, I see the same thing. And I looked, I'm like, oh yeah, I got one too. And it's legit. Like we looked into it. It's actually real that there's a class action lawsuit for Rainmakers. So, but I accepted a payout. So I don't know if I'm eligible, but I don't know. Like, why not try? So,
just don't mention this to the Trenton Thunder. They don't want to get dragged into any sort of litigation here, man.
It'd be funny if they get named, like they have to like come in.
Yeah, it's like this guy used our property to set his lineups. We demand like a percentage.
Yeah, right. Stanley says, "Hey, Walt and Quacky,
we've created." Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Stanley asking, "Do you think the Giants will draft Shedeur Sanders at number 3?" So I've said this a few times and pointed out that I had a scout for an NFL team look at my mock draft, and the one thing he had, the one criticism he had was like he said, "Get Shedeur Sanders out of your first round," and then he also said, "I would be surprised if Shedeur Sanders won in the first round." And I replied, I'm like, well, it only takes one team to fall in love, and he said that's true, but he also said that like. He's talked to other scouts around the league, and they don't think that Shedeur Sanders is a first-round prospect, which is like kind of surprising to me. I thought he was. Like I know he doesn't have like insane upside, but I think he has a high floor, and I certainly think he's a better prospect than Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett won the first round, so I think ultimately he will go in the first round. I feel like if he falls to like the 20s, like we saw with like Brady Quinn, Aaron Rodgers, it's happened before. Will Levis fell to the 30s. People thought Will Levis was going to go number 4 a couple of years ago, and he went in the 30s. So like if he falls, I feel like a team is going to move up into the end of the first round to take him, like maybe the Browns. But yeah, I mean, look, I like everything I hear says no about the Giants drafting him, and maybe it's all smoke or something. But it seems like the Giants are going to go with either Carter or Hunter at number 3, which kind of like ruins your Travis Hunter to the Jaguars pick, but. You never know. I mean, maybe like the Browns and Giants are hiding their intentions as you would think they would, because remember, there's speculation that the Texans would not draft C.J. Stroud when they had the number 2 draft pick, and then they ended up doing it. Like they even had like reports saying that Stroud wasn't going to be the pick, and he was. So like Sanders could still be a top 3 pick. I wouldn't like say it's definitely not going to happen, but I'm definitely trending toward thinking that he's not going to be.
Wow, really? Like out of the first round, though? I mean, you don't think the Jets would take him, or?
I don't think the Jets are taking him. From what Charlie said in that episode we had with him on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched.
Yeah, I don't. Sounds like the Jets are not in on him. I don't know. The Steelers maybe not. I don't know. So there could be a team that moves up from the end of the second, from the top of the second to the end of the first round. Could be the Browns, could be the Giants. Like they could do that, but yeah, it's like everything sounds like Sanders going to drop right now.
Wow.
But I mean, we're like I said, we're gonna have Charlie on twice more. Maybe we'll get more other news on him. I don't know, but I would trust Charlie on it.
Of course. Yeah, no need to speculate at this point, but yeah. that would be pretty interesting. Let's see. Team to draft Ashton Genty. The Raiders are the favorite at -135. I don't know. I don't.
No, I don't think so. I mean, look, there are, like, based on what Charlie said, there are people in the building who like him, but I think that it'll go to Will Johnson, and they're going to draft running back in the second round. That's what Charlie was saying. But they could change their minds. It could still happen. But I don't think the Raiders should be the favorite. I think the Cowboys should be the favorite.
Well, the Cowboys are 8-1.
8-1, really interesting.
Yeah.
Why 8-1? That's so weird. They're like outside of the Bears are the next team that could take him. What are the Bears?
Bears are plus 200, 2-1.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah,
What if the Giants took him? The Giants are, let's see,
they get Barkley FOMO.
75-1. Yeah,
I don't think.
they're not going to take him. They have
if they trade down, maybe. I mean, Tyron Tracy's there, obviously, but you know, I don't think Tyron Tracy will preclude them from taking Gentry. So like if they somehow trade down, then that could be their target. But I don't think they're trading down. So
you don't think they would pull something crazy and take him at 3?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I mean, geez, we've seen crazier things in the past, you know.
That's true. Yeah, I mean,
So,
they took a running back number 2 once upon a time, and he won the Super Bowl for the Eagles. So I'm saying, hey, do you think the scouts are biased against Sanders because they don't like Deion Sanders? This guy I talked to, it doesn't seem like, I don't see any reason why he would be biased against or why he wouldn't like Deion. Like, I don't know if he's ever met Deion, you know. So, or maybe he has when he's been scouting Sanders. I don't know, but like, I don't think so. I really don't. I don't know. I'm very confused about this. Like I said, I think Shedeur Sanders is a good prospect. I would certainly consider him taking the top 5, but like I said, it sounds like he's going to fall. Which like there are mixed results, you know. Like we saw Brady Quinn fall, he was awful. Will Levis fell, he sucked. But Aaron Rodgers fell, and he was great. So it doesn't like we just don't know. I think Jordan Love was expected to go a little earlier than he did, and he fell a little bit, and he ended up being pretty decent so far. Right? It's still a little early, but like pretty decent so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to these next couple weeks, man, to see all the things unfold. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It really.
Do you have any other draft prop odds you're looking at?
Let me see. We don't have a lot of.
And this is on Hard Rock.
This is on Hard Rock. Yeah. They don't have everything. First, I mean, everyone. Can you imagine if like it wasn't Cam Ward that went number 1? Carter's 9-1. Travis Hunter's 25-1. I mean,
it's like draft day. You know. You texted me the other day. Like, what would be the odds on
Vontae Mack?
Mack, yeah.
I guess. Well, I mean, Abdul Carter is 9-1, and he's projected to go. You know, and on many boards is 2. And Vontae Mack was going to be there at 7. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
Vontae Mack 100-1.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Vontae Mack would have had to been 100-1.
Well, who's going to be 7? What? I guess like Mason Graham, maybe. Do you have odds for Mason Graham being the top pick? Is he even listed?
Yeah, 100-1.
100-1. There we go. That would be the odds for Vontae Mack. That's what the odds would be.
That'd be awesome. I want to see if they'd let me like even bet. Like, there's got to be a max. I don't know. Maybe not. Put 1,000 on it. Win 100,000. Not bad.
there should not be a limit. They're like, this fool wants to bet on Mason Graham number 1. Let him bet whatever he wants.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I feel like big odds they have to cap themselves. Or I mean, I think I've seen some books cap be like, oh, max bet is like, for something like that. Imagine if it hits, you know.
Yeah, they learned their lesson when they listed the Rams in '99 at like 200-1, or maybe it was even higher. It was like 300-1. They got burned a lot by that, and so they kind of learned their lesson. Like I said, it might have been even higher because the Rams were just a joke before then, and then like
I remember.
Although I mean, like I thought, like I remember thinking Trent Green was going to have like a really good fantasy season. I think I had Trent Green on my fantasy team. Which he got hurt in the preseason, and then the rest is history with Warner coming in and winning the Super Bowl.
Great teams. Remember Ricky Prohl?
Good hands of Prohl. No, good hands of also. What was Ricky Prohl? Ricky Prohl shampoos his way down the field. That's what. Azahir Hakim.
Hakim. Yeah. He was great too. Obviously, Isaac Bruce, and they had Marshall Faulk, and
Trung Candidate was the backup to Faulk.
Who made the game-winning tackle against the Titans in the Super Bowl for the Rams?
Was it? I mean, it wasn't Dre Bly. By the way, Dre Bly's son, I think, is in this draft. I don't know. It was London. No, it wasn't London Fletcher. He wasn't on the team yet. I can't remember. I don't know. I know it was Kevin Dyson got tackled, right? He's the guy who got
That's
tackled.
right. That was going to be my next question. It was Dyson.
I don't know who tackled him though. I forgot.
Mike Jones.
Oh, Mike Jones. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That was such. I remember watching that live. This is the Rams Titans Super Bowl and what was it, 99 2000, I guess.
Yeah.
And just the way, like, even though Dyson knew that he was down, like he was like maybe like almost like he wanted to ask the ref as he was like stretching, like, could you maybe make an exception just this once?
Yeah.
Since it's such like a big moment here, like.
Yeah, please, like, let's go to overtime. You want to go to overtime, right?
Yeah, like that would be cool, right? Like, maybe put a couple seconds back on and make it interesting.
Yeah, I think that was the last Super Bowl that ended with a push. The line was 7 exactly.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it's Rams by 7.
You think they would have gone for it? Gone for 2?
No, not Commander 500.
I'm just joking. and that was the 2-yard extra point too. Al Del Greco.
Yeah, that's right. Del Greco. He was on my fantasy team, I think, that year.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Del Greco was a reliable kicker.
He was good.
Yeah.
Golden over under 17. Really? Do you have that on the Hard Rock, Tom?
No, the only players that I have are Genty and Travis Hunter.
That's
like for team to draft player. Let me correct that. For team to draft player. I mean, they're going to have more on there as the draft draws nearer. That's usually what Hard Rock does, but they only have a couple on there.
Why is Golden over under 17? I'm going 34 in my mock. It seems so early, but maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. I'll have to ask Charlie. That's something to ask Charlie on and was it like maybe 10 days from now or something? That's crazy. Yeah, I've gone 34 to the Giants. So you could definitely sneak in the first round, or maybe not even sneak based on 17. But like, that's low. Well, who's drafting is 17? Is the Bengals? Bengals aren't taking a receiver. Why would it be 17? The team before that's Arizona. The team after that's Seattle. So maybe it's 17 now because Seattle. Yeah, that's strange. It's strange.
First draft.
Browns need to call the Jaguars rookie GM this year and offer 3 seconds for the first. It was like a draft day, you know. and the Jaguars GM is like 34 years old. It's so funny.
The poor guy, like everyone's like, oh, he's the new guy. Like we can like walk all over him. Like what a bunch of dicks, you know. It doesn't make any sense at all.
It's so stupid. That whole movie was ridiculous.
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna watch it after the show here. I'm gonna fall asleep to it.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Anything else you want to bring up, or you want to head out?
I guess we can head out since we got a late start. I get tired easily, you know. But I'm excited for the next 2 shows, Walt. We're gonna have, you know, I've been doing my own due diligence on my end. Finally, this is the most we've talked about football in the off-season shows in a while. So, this will be a real crowd pleaser.
Yeah, right.
You know, for the people that we don't need a timestamp for this one, but. No, especially these upcoming weeks, I'm really going to be putting a lot of time into the draft study. I'm really looking forward to it, man. It's an exciting time of year, and love doing it with you every year.
Yeah, same. I can't believe it's less than 3 weeks. It seems like so. Like I feel like I have so much to do, but at the same time, I can't do everything yet because they're still waiting on team visits, like the top 30 visits. That information. I know, like people like don't call it top 30 visits. It's the 30 visits. Like I hate those people. They're almost as bad as the people who back into their parking spots. It's so uncomfortable.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, I know. It's almost on that level. So yeah, there's that. I also have to also like talk to sources, but I mean like Charlie. Like when I say talk to sources, I mean like talk to the 2 people or 3 people I know in the league, and like wait for Charlie to talk to like half the league. So like we have to have that information. So like these 2 things, I just can't do them yet. But I still have to do round 6. I have to do round 7. I have to do the goals mock draft. I have to do the backward mock draft, and like a bunch of other stuff. And just like kind of like what something else I do is like I look at the positions of prospects that teams have brought in for visits. And you can definitely get a gauge on like what positions teams will take early in the draft. Because like if a team is bringing like 10 running backs, they're interested in a running back. It might not necessarily be one of the running backs they bring in. They might just be like weeding out players like they think they might want, and they might end up going with a different running back. But like if a team brings in 10 running backs, they're like obviously looking for running backs. So it's like that data too. But like all that data is not even complete yet because like we still have 2 more weeks of visits that are gonna happen. And plus, like late or like some visits are not going to be reported until later. So I don't have all the information yet. So it's like it's like I'm like between a rock and a hard place here because like on one hand time's running out, but on the other hand I can't really do everything yet. So
right.
it's always stressful. Yeah. But anyway.
But all right, but yeah, in the weeks to come we'll have more developments, I'm sure. I look forward to it, man.
Yeah, me too. So all right, guys, thank you once again for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Tom, for coming on. I love doing the show with you. It's always a blast. Yeah, and do you want to talk about your Twitch channel before we head out here?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I might be back. It's been a while since I streamed, but I might be back soon. I was playing Rocket League earlier tonight. I was running a freaking clinic, man. It was
what happened to Ori? Where are you going to stream Ori?
I've been playing Ori a little bit, but I had to switch it up today. Okay. I was out there running a clinic, but yeah, appreciate you having me on as always, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. Always have a great time with you, and then we'll be back next week.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll be having a full slate of shows next week. We're gonna have a special guest at some point. Tom will be back Saturday. Kenny will be back Wednesday, I assume. So yeah, looking forward to it. Once again, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. And go Houston on Monday. And I will talk to you later on Tuesday.
See y'all later.